Perdome getting geared up for the live shot here. Right on the other side of him we got the Professor, WJ. Getting them all set for their show. Oh yeah, Don. Get that hair straightened out. Come on, where's that toothpick? There's that toothpick. Just waiting for John Force to get in here. Mike Dunn, ESPN. Well, we'll shut her down and wait for John here. Yeah. There's John Force getting ready for the show. I'm surprised nobody sees him yet.
Look at that.
There he is. He's late, but he's here.
That was a few years ago. I think it was here.
Making his way through the crowd right in front of Tammy.
What do I do now? Morning. Yep.
John, you healing?
And we'll get a shot of the crowd from St. Helens. There's the Shadrach and Barble and Deb. We got balls out in the crowd somewhere, but as big as he is, I'm surprised I can't see him. Where's Tammy and Brian?
We'll wing it. Do I need to introduce myself or just...
There's Brian filming away. Kid just like me. Wouldn't you know?
I'd rather hold the axe to him than give him a cut and pay, but it don't work that way. Now he's just working on it, that's all.
Warren Johnson on the right, John Force, he don't like things put in his ear.
About the U.S. Nationals, and I'm with three of the legends of this sport. Don the Steak Girl. First off, I want to talk about you guys. You know, the first time you went to Indy Warren, I know 1971, you told me that was the first year you drove at Indy, but you were actually there even before that, running in another class.
I ran the E1 Mark 71 was the first year I got to That's where it all started.
Yeah, what was your first time there? Did you go there to watch or did you race it?
No, I actually raced in 69. And I came off that.
Bob was absolutely tough there. He was a tenacious
competitor anybody seen. So to beat him on his own track, that was something special.
Yeah, Bob, great racer. I remember back in the day, and I don't know if it was the same in pro stock, but we put it on the opposite side of the track that we were used to. And back in those days, you weren't allowed to make, you didn't have skill to qualify. And I remember the crew members were rolling on, our old boss, he made me sleep in the truck because the gates didn't open until 7 o'clock, and he wanted me in the staging lanes to be up front. Well, me and one of Tom Hoover's guys actually slept in the trucks, and we said, okay, we're going to wake up about 5 o'clock, and we're going to go in. And well, Dale Poldy at the time was driving, and he paid the guy at the back gate, like, gave him a case of Miller or something, to let him in. And they knew we were sleeping in there, so they took and got the push truck, got it rolling, and they just kind of coasted and pushed it in there so they wouldn't wake everybody up. So next thing you know, we get up and we run into the staging lanes, and right in the back of the staging lanes was like the road course. Well, the NHRA guy says, "Stop, you can't go any further." And your old crew chief, Austin Coyle, he's right beside me, and we're lined up, there's about 20 cars waiting to go up there and get money to try to get your position. And all of a sudden the guy says, 7 o'clock, he says, "Okay, you guys can go." It looked like the start of Le Mans. We're all running to the trucks and we're going, and I got the one guy from Hoover's, he's driving the race car and I'm driving the push truck, and there's Coyle on the other side. Man, he's like going, he ain't gonna let me get in there. So we get up to the front of the line, and he gets out and he says, I may not be able to kick your ass, but I guarantee you I can hire somebody to do it. If you ever try that.
You want to dry cuss me, and I swear I'll tell you the real story. The real story there, I was there with Wendy's, and we picked up our uniforms from the local Wendy's store on the way into Indy. I was broke in California, and they said the snake went east to Indy. I said, "You're shitting me," and I packed up. My dad said, "Why do you waste your time, son? You're going to go bankrupt. You'll never be Don Perdome, and you're going to Indy." And I mean, I sold my Harley, everything I owned, closed my apartment, and took off for Indy, right? So here I am. I slept all night in the truck. We were filthy dirty. And the next morning, that's when John Lombardo's team they were all fighting to get to the start line. He ran into the back of Al Sagrini. I mean, it was a cluster, you know what, right? And I made it because Steve Gibbs says only 10 cars are going to run that section. Well, I was number 7. I was okay. And here we are sitting, and Snake gives orders to Bobby Brandt. Go around all of them. They climbed the fence. So I thought, cool, out of respect, I'm a funny car racer. I walked up to Snake and I said, "Mr. Perdome, you know you've always been my hero." And I wasn't one of the guys that snuck in. I slept all night, and you went around me, and he said, "Excuse me, who is this guy?" I was hot. I was ready to fight. We were all standing out there. We were starved to death. We knew we weren't going to qualify anyway, and but we tried, and we didn't qualify again. But them were the good old days. It was fun.
That's pro stock. Did you ever have any rivalries like that? I'm sure we did.
It was the same thing in pro stock. You had to be there first thing in the morning. I remember sleeping in the truck, rolling the car out the back of the truck in the dark, and then sneaking up the closest staging lane that you could get, and trying to get in there. And I remember I went around Gordy Rivera once, and I thought we had the Mexican Camaro, and we were going again. He was just hot. But I figured, that guy's sleeping. He ain't gonna notice. Remember the pit areas there? It was just dirt. Just dirt, grass, that's all dirt. So there was this one patch of asphalt way over on the far side. You once again sleep all night in your truck, hustle in there, be the first one in the gate, to unload your car, and be able to work on asphalt. Well, guys got hep to that, and they were all lined up. So whoever won the Nationals all that year would automatically get that spot the following year. So that was a big perk to be able to be pitted on asphalt.
It ended up being the Don Perdome pit spot, basically.
Yeah, for a while.
You know what was really pathetic? When Indy was over, we're still starving, still eating at Wendy's. Thank God the cast will come into this program, and Ford, I'd still be out there starving. But in the midst of this, the last word I had, we were sitting in a hotel trying to figure out how to sneak out because we couldn't get our clothes out of the room. That's how bad it was. 6 guys in a room, mattresses against the wall, hot bologna sandwiches under the seat of the truck. Almost said Chevy truck, I meant Ford. And then the word came down the hall. Snake had left the building, right? And I said, "Where's he going?" And they said, "He's heading for Medford." Well, back in those days, we run divisionals to get points, and I was hanging on to stay in the top 10. I said, "I can quit that son of a bitch. We're going to Medford." Packed up our stuff,
everything that's good, but that chase around that back. And it ended up being a pretty good race.
You know, thinking, I remember on Orange County last week, we started out, and here's this guy going out there, and we do 14 dry hops before he gets to the lead box, do the burnout, back up, do about 13 more of that. This guy says, look, you could have said, I'll bet you that 20 years will be the greatest 21st guy you ever heard. You could have got $1 million to $1.
You think that's the whole thing, yeah.
Mike, don't make fun of me. I saw you in that Hawaiian punch. I was at the end of Orange County, and that old Japanese kid, that thing went by rolling end over end, and I thought, wow, he's dead. I mean, end over end over end. And that wasn't the bad part. You get out of the car, you went like this, and then Roland started chewing his ass. You ever heard a Japanese guy scream? How did you in my car? Chinese?
Number 8, Doug Herbert. Number 7, Hillary Will. Number 6, Brendan Bernstein.
There's Ashley
Number 5,
watching the track.
Rod Fuller. Number 4, Corey McClenathan. Number 3, Larry Dixon. Number 2, Antron Brown. And the number 1 top fuel driver in the Powerade Top Fuel Dragster is Tony Schumacher.
In the 13th spot, 3-time champion. He went the distance in Arizona. He drives the Kendall Dodge V Games. In the 12th spot, 2-time Powerade champion. He's been to the final round 3 times right here. For Wiley X Eyewear and Pontiac, Jim Yates. In the number 11 spot, making his 25th pro start, his Dodge decorated out in Nitrofish colors. Let's welcome Justin Humphreys. In the 10th spot, 39-time winner, including here in 2002 and at Gainesville this year. He is your reigning Powerade champion for Jags and Jags.com, Jay Coughlin. Jags the one with the hat. In the number 9 spot, he won the K&N Horsepower Challenge. He's been at the final round here in the last 2 seasons. Coming off a great run in Denver. Ladies and gentlemen, driving from Opar, Alan Johnson. In the 8th spot, he's made all 21 races here, including the first one in 1988. This 9-time champion has been to 2 finals this year for Lucas Oil and Dodge, Larry Morgan. In the 7th spot, he's got 14 wins, including back-to-back here in 96 and 97. He drives the Penhall Pontiac, Mike Edwards. We're glad to know that this driver finally made it back behind the stage. He's got 5 final rounds right here, including 3 wins. He drives the AC Delco Chevrolet. Let's welcome Kurt Johnson. In the number 5 spot, 6-time win. He won at Heartland Park, Topeka this year. He went to the finals here in 2005. For Valvoline and Chevrolet, Ron Krischer. This driver's been to finals in a variety of classes. He's making his 73rd pro start. His Dodge checked in with a career best at 6:59. New Mexico's Johnny Gray. In the 3 spot, the former Powerade champion's got 4 final rounds this year, including a win in Las Vegas. He drives the Summit Racing Pontiac, Jason Line. In the number 2 spot, this 3-time Powerade champion won here in 2003 and again in 2004. Also driving the Summit Racing Pontiac for car owner Ken Black. Let's welcome Greg Anderson. And as you take a look at the quickest pro stock run ever here at Pacific Raceways up in Motel 6, this driver comes in as your defending event champion. He went wire to wire last year. He checked in at a great 6.573, 209 miles an hour. Let's welcome the driver of the Charter Communications Chevrolet, David Conley. Points and cash towards the K&N Horsepower Challenge, and you're starting to make a habit of it up here in Seattle, huh?
Man, I appreciate it. This year we actually we had to work for it a little bit. We got 4 runs instead of 1 like last year. The weather's, what a weekend, you know. We come out here Friday and got that cool weather come in for us. We got to set some track records, and for the fans, you know, we got to see a lot of 650 runs for the pro stock cars, so it was great. And then, you know, today it's race day, sun's out, and should make for some great racing. The track's been great all weekend, and thanks to K&N for the extra $3 grand. grand and full throttle money, that's really appreciated for the crew. They're the ones that worked hard and got this charter communications car, to the #1 spot at the end of the day. And it'll come in handy, this Western Swing. We're out here for the whole crews and drivers, and everybody's out here for 3 weeks in a row, busting their butts, and it's great to come and run good out here this week.
David, who's going to come out and accept the full throttle? That's a nice job for the team.
That's a little show. It's the big truck, our truck driver's name. We call him Big Show. He's a bigger fella, and he brought his son out here on the trip for him this week, and he's been a help. I mean, he's got the car shining every round, and just really hands-on all weekend, and he might be our lucky charm.
Holder Angster here in 1990. He's been to 4 final rounds here in Top Fuel. He drives the red-hot Fram car, Corey McClenathan. This driver's making her 59th pro start. She drives her Ken Black. Won at Heartland Park, Topeka. She resides right out of the Great Northwest. Let's say hi to Hillary Will. In the 8th spot, this 2-time winner went to the finals at Gainesville. Been to the money round twice right here for DHL, David Grubneck. In the #7 spot, this 5-time Top Fuel winner drives the Lucas Oil fuel treatment car. He checked in with a 386. This is J.R. Todd. In the #6 spot, this 2-time Powerade champion won here in 2003. He drives the U.S. smokeless tobacco machine for Don Pernod. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Dixon. In the 5 spot, 11-time top alcohol dragster winner, 5-time finalist in Top Fuel, the flagship for Lucas Oil. This is Morgan Lucas. In the 4th spot, he's got 7 wins, including St. Louis this season. Runs for David Powers and Caterpillar, running out of the NC Caterpillar folks, Hot Rod Fuller. In the 3 spot, he's #2 in the Powerade points with wins in Houston and Atlanta. He drives the Matco Tool C machine. Ladies and gentlemen, Antron Brown. This driver won here in Top Alcohol Dragster in 2001 and Top Fuel in 2005. He drives the Budweiser Lucas Oil machine, Brandon Bernstein. And as we take a look at the quickest run of the week and up on Motel 6, this driver checked in with a great 3.80, 316 miles an hour. Been to 4 straight finals right here at this event. He drives the U.S. Army Top Fuel machine. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Schumacher. Coming off that final round last week, he is your defending event champion for Valvoline and Dodge, Fast Jack Beckman. In the 13th spot is a Rookie of the Year candidate making his 13th start with a Quick Lane Tire and Auto Ford. This is Bob Tasca. In the 12th spot, he won Top Alcohol Funny Car here in '92 and twice he's won in Top Fuel. The 4-time Powerade champ drives the Mopar Oakley Dodge, Gary Selzy. In the 11th spot, this 8-time champion went to the money round here in 1995. He drives the race brick Chevrolet, Gary Dencham. In the 10th spot, the 92 Powerade champion's got 56 final rounds, 2 of them coming right here in the Great Northwest. He drives the Advanced Auto Parts Toyota Cruise Pendragon. In the 9th spot, this 2-time and reigning Powerade champ's got 3 wins this year. He won here in the year 2002. This weekend, carrying the colors of the Portland, Oregon company, Wicked Quick Wearing Apparel. Let's say hi to the champion, Tony Pendragon. In the 8th spot, she won her first race here in 1999. She has also won in Top Fuel and Funny Car. She drives the Gotham City Racing Dodge. Ladies and gentlemen, Melanie Troxel. In the #7 spot, 3 final rounds this year, including a win at Atlanta. Tune into ESPN tonight, found out if she won the ESPYs. Ladies and gentlemen, for Castrol and Ford, Ashley Force. In the #6 spot, this 5-time champion drives the Rockstar Energy Drink Dodge. He is #6, Jerry Tolliver. In the 5 spot, this 2-time Lucas Oil champion drives the Hall of Famer Jim Dunn with the candidate all-natural pet food car. He is Tony Bartone. In the 4th spot, here's another runner for the Rookie of the Year. This former crew chief spent 3 final rounds as a driver. He drives the Old Spice Ford, #4, Mike Neff. In the 3 spot, he's got 22 final rounds, both in Top Fuel and Funny Car. He won in Top Fuel here in 1993. He drives for Hall of Famer Kenny Bernstein in the Monster Energy Drink Dodge, Tommy Johnson Jr. In the number 2 spot, he's got 22 wins, including a career-turning event here in 1999. He drives the Checker Schucks Kragen flagship, carrying the Techron colors this weekend. Let's say hi to Del Worsham. Dell's the one without the glasses. And your number 1 qualifier, checking in with a 4.056 at 304 miles an hour. He drives the Auto Club of Southern California Ford. He's got a great round 1 matchup coming up. One of the great young drivers on tour. For Team Force, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Height. Points and cash towards the U.S. Smokeless Tobacco Showdown. Always nice when you're the last one introduced.
Yeah, it is, but usually you don't have to race Tim Wilkerson first round when you're number 1. Usually it's like I'm 16 and he's number 1, but it's exciting. There's no easy ones. We've been number 1 qualifier here before, never capitalized on it, so today's our day. Wilkerson's way out there on the points, and if we have a chance at catching him, we gotta win. We gotta win the race, and there's no easy ones. One cool thing is the Brand Source folks with John Force Racing qualifying number 1, they gave a washer and dryer to a lucky fan yesterday. So if Ashley or Neff and I can put this thing in the winner's circle today, somebody will also win a big screen TV.
We'd also like to acknowledge all of our friends at Powerade. Dan Fernandez, the on-site sales manager for Powerade here this weekend, and congratulations to him. And I think he's the one who's been doing, there we go, congratulations. Running back and forth there and doing all the stuff with our friends from Powerade from Full Throttle and all those special awards. And it's going to be a great day. It's another great Powerade day.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Coca-Cola and our brands, Powerade.
Weather here. There, Robert Heitman, 598 at 111.55, and Tim Wilkerson's back down the pit area going, yeah, where was that when I was in the other lane? So 3 cars in the bottom half of the field have advanced into the semifinals here at Pacific Raceways. We got another great matchup here, the 4 and 5 cars, so somebody from the top half going to get into the championship round. Force is beaten in round 1. Robert Height in round 2. This is the lone surviving Ford for Team Force. Semi-final bound, Gary Densham heading up the return road, taking the police escort. That's cool. All right, your final matchup, round 2, Fuel Funny Car. Mike Neff with John Medlin, the crew chief. Tony Bartone with Jim Dunn. And his son John out there in front of the race car. Winner goes to the semifinals against the Wicked Quick, Tony Pendergast. In the semifinals, he just had his car darted toward the center line, but Tony Bartone hangs on, and the Canada All Natural Pet Food car will make it an all. And Jim Yates and the Kendall Dodge V-Game 6. It's always a good day for Kendall. Well, it's going to be a good day for one of them because they will be our first semi-finalists in Pro Stock. Interesting to watch Justin Humphries down to John Arlene Johnson right off the starting line after Justin ran Kurt in the round 1. So you got your Pontiac GXP, that's Jim Yates, the 2-time Powerade champ, who's been reunited with Richard Maskin in the engine building department. Snazzy paint job or wrap or neat looking race car. Jim Yates. So yeah, we need Super Street, Stock, Super Gas, and Stock. You should all be in the staging lanes, or at least head in that general direction. Super Stock, did I say that? The mic cut out on that last one. I can't even read them right. Super Street, Stock, Super Gas, Super Stock. It's the last time I'm called in. Tony Bartone and Jim Dunn headed back into the staging lanes. All right, your first pair, round number 2, Pro Stock. A little premium on reaction time here because the cars have been so evenly matched, although today, this weekend, Jimmy H has had the better of the 2 race cars so far. Semifinals with a 670. So V Gaines running out of that lucky. So Dave Conley and Alan Johnson are your next 2 in the opening round. Conley ran 664.0. Alan Johnson 664.7. By 7 thousandths of a second. Dave Conley, the #1 qualifier, gets to pick his lane. He's over here on the left-hand side of the racetrack. And Alan Johnson in that Dodge. Been in the money round the last 2 seasons here at Pacific Raceways. He's got a very good race car. Both parts have had some pretty good success here at this racetrack over the years. His dad Roy out in front. Alan knows that David Conley is generally acknowledged as one of the best on the starting line. So Alan Johnson is Dad Roy. And the Charter Communications machine, LifeLock, and Dave Conley. Trying to pick up a round at a time and see if he can't close in and get a spot in that Powerade top 10. Now let's see who goes in and stages first. We haven't had a good old battle in a while. We're not going to have one here. Conley's in. Alan Johnson in. Bang, out of the starting gate they go. Cannot navigate that left-hand lane. And Alan Johnson with a crushing run at 663. More bunch. To find out how well that stands up, as 663 was impressive. Now, 2 guys that have been doing a dynamite job on the starting line. Mike Edwards, the Penhall Company, Pontiac GXP, and the Attitude of Power. You see the guys out there with those camouflage shirts. They're the ones I tell you about that'll be taken to our troops overseas in the hospital there, when a lot of those drivers in the GM camp go over there during the off-season. For every shirt they sell, they'll donate one to our troops. And we have like 13 different drivers' names on there. The Asphalt Assault Company is the name of their platoon. It's kind of a cool deal. Well, let's see what Greg Stanfield can do against Mike Edwards. Yes, indeed. 667 is a whole shot win over Mike Edwards. Stanfield's going back to back with whole shot wins. 667. Second best in qualifying. And hey, when you're second best and it's the Army car out in front of you, that's not putting you in an exclusive club. So the crew chiefs, Tim and Kim Richards for Brandon Bernstein, Kevin Pointer, Keith Stewart for Doug Herbert, back away. And they're set. The win. Almost looked like a drifting contest out there, for goodness sakes. 426, 241 the speed, and Brandon Bernstein will advance to yet another final round. And Doug Herbert goes 438, 240 miles. These 2 guys have been throwing verbal barbs at one another the last couple of races, and I, for one, love it.
you know, it's a great job by our team, you know, the Budweiser Lucas Oil team, but, you know, it's tough out here. I mean, the sun's out hard on this track, and it's real tricky right now. So, you know, hopefully Tim can calm this thing down just a little bit for the final, and we got a chance at it.
Do you carry your race?
Not at all.
And you know what? I believe him. Although if I had to say anybody, I would not want to run the Army car. I mean, but then if Fuller beats him, he has the better car. But I want to be like Tony Pendergrass, one of the favorite lines of all time. Who do you want to race in the final? Anybody with an oil leak. Because you're going to shut him off. My favorite line. So Hot Rod Fuller and the NC Machinery team, the pride of Caterpillar out in Washington and Alaska. The U.S. Army team car. Army car over here in the downtown Harley-Davidson side of the racetrack. Prime time. Who's going to run for the money? Another race that wasn't for Team Machine.
Tony Schumacher, just another solid, consistent performance. Yeah, this stuff is tires where you really want to start with 2 projects you work on the race track. Right in front of your spinning tires, man, it makes you off the end. Alan Johnson just keeps making this U.S. Army car go right down the racetrack, and we got just a whole bunch of people from Napa, from Gates, Belts, and Hoses. You know, the Schumacher Racing Camp is just, we're stacked over there. We got a lot of people, a lot of great guys, and I'm pulling for Caps here, man. He's had a little slow start, but that is a great team. Love to be in the final with him.
He's pulling for his teammate. What are the odds? Yeah, geez, I kind of thought he'd like Gary Dench. Because, well, Gary's just a nice guy. He's been around for a while, all that stuff. So, what are the odds? He's cheering for his teammate. So the Napa team with Rockstar, Freightliner, all the folks involved with this team race car, and it is going to be the Race Bricks team of Gary Dencham, who has just been solid, if not spectacular, all season long. And you know what? Solid gets you a spot in the Powerade Top 10 right now. Spectacular will also, but semi-final is staging lanes, please. That'll be Comp Super Street Stock Super against Super Stock Super Comp. The staging lanes now. All right, who's going to run against Ron and the Cats? The reigning Powerade champ and the former Lucas Oil champion. They're ready. They're set. I have over 60 of these nostalgia front engine cars and just all kinds of racing, swap meets, bench racing, a lot of them guys from the old school out there telling stories and reliving it like it used to be. Down in Bakersfield, this is one of the places, like SIR, or now Pacific Raceways, that they used to do it. A good old-fashioned cackle fest, and we're going to start it off with Hugh Tucker, and that's a name that was legendary in this part of the country. For those of you that haven't been around drag racing that many years, this guy was one of the baddest men ever to climb into the cockpit up in this part of the world. It's a AA street roadster that was originally built in 1958, and that is Hugh behind the wheel. Hugh Tucker Sr. Jr. owned the car. It's based in Hansville, Washington. 34. Check that thing out and think about back in the day. It was clipping off quarter-mile times in the low 9-second, 155-mile-an-hour range. He was a 3-time eliminator champion at the Winter Nationals back in the early 60s and a 4-time class winner at Indy during the same time period. I'm telling you, that was one of the baddest cars ever. And Hugh Tucker Jr. bringing the push car, one of the old Ford Rancheros. Hey, that's the way it was. some of the biggest names ever. Jerry the King Ruth out there. Boy, how many races has he won in this part of the world? Oh, that's right.